Hey everybody, Keep 7 Gaming here, back with another Magic the Gathering Arena video, and today I'm showing off a deck that I brewed up a couple days ago, and I've just been playing around with it, and just to take a look here. It's kind of insane how good it's been performing in the play queue. Haven't played it on ranked, I don't know if I will, but as of right now, I'm 7-1, 7 wins, 1 loss, 87% win rate in the play queue. Really catches people off guard because it has a very fast and then a very powerful. It has one win con that's very quick and fast that can catch them off guard, and then it has another win condition that is just extremely powerful. I think I've done so. Let's see here. I think I've done up to like 26 damage is the highest I've done in one turn. So it can be really powerful. If your opponent doesn't have a lot of life gain, even if they have life gain, I think I played this deck against a friend of mine in just like in a direct challenge, and we were both, he wasn't playing poorly to let me win. I was legitimately just trying to play this deck, and he had a lot of life gain. He had like a Yorian Blink deck, and I was still able to burn him out. I think he got up to like 40 life, and I absolutely destroyed him. Albeit I had almost all of my threats deployed, so it was like incredibly powerful. But anyway. So the deck is interesting. So your early win con is playing an Ironcrag Feat, which is a 4 mana sorcery, 1 and 3 reds, which allows you to add 7 red mana, and you can only cast one more spell this turn, and you would cast either a Godzilla, Doom Inevitable, or Yadara Wandering Monster, or a Drakaseth Maw of Flames, and that's your early win con. You get one of these immense threats out there, and then you can just smash face with an 8/8 with Trample and Haste, or you can, clear their board with a 7/7 Flying Dragon that deals 4 damage to any target and then 3 damage to up to each of 2 other targets. And then it swings for 7 at the face. Obviously, it doesn't have haste, which is a huge drawback. So, you play this down and then it gets removed. That's a big ouch. You play this guy out, he has trample and haste, so he's already doing 8 damage. But, these things are obviously easily removed, so that's kind of a feels bad. That's why we have a backup plan. And our backup plan here is awesome. I really, really like it. So basically we have a bunch of stuff down on the low end. We have Cathartic Reunion, Crash Through, Thrill of Possibility, just ways to basically get lands and cards that aren't going to be, effective in the game. Obviously, a Shock isn't going to be very effective if they have a bunch of creatures with 3 or higher toughness, stuff like that. So dependent on what the situation is in the game, you discard. You have to really pick and choose what you discard and what you're trying to draw into. If they're playing a board that has, if their board is Uro, you maybe don't want a Storm's Wrath. But then again, you also might want to hang on to these if you have a Double Vision out. A Double Vision is a 5 mana, 3 and 2 red enchantment. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So if you have a Shock and you play it on the first turn, you can kill something with up to 4 toughness. If you have 2 Double Visions out there, you can kill something with up to 6 toughness. And then with Storm's Wrath, you can kill an entire board of 8/8s if you have a Double Vision out there. And then obviously if you have you can kill things with up to 12 toughness if you have 2 Double Visions. So basically, Double Vision, you might want to hang on to certain stuff if you have a Double Vision out there and you have certain things you need to remove on the board, stuff like that. But basically our win condition, this low end is basically just draw or discard and draw to look for your answers, to look for your end game threats. Your end game threats being a mixture of Double Vision, Fiery Emancipation, and Inescapable Blaze. I've won so many games now. Well, not so many. It says I played 8, and then I don't know if it counts the games that I played against my friend, but it might. I've won at least, of the 8 games that is recorded, I have probably won maybe 3, close to half of them by having a Fiery Emancipation on the board, casting Inescapable Blaze, and doing a ridiculous amount of damage. Inescapable Blaze can't be countered, so you have some protection against control decks. Obviously, these aren't protected from control decks. These can easily be countered or possibly removed. But you yourself are kind of playing a control game, so I think the control matchup is tough, but like aggro decks, creature-based decks, you are very favored against because you can just remove, draw into what you need. If you have a double vision down, I mean, how many decks do you know that play 8/8 creatures? Period. Not many. A lot of the meta decks right now, Uro is their best card, and he's a 6/6. Um, Uro, whatever. If you have a double vision out there and you cast a Storm's Wrath, that takes care of an Uro. And then even if they recast him, if you cast another double vision and then one shock, a 1 mana answer to an Uro, yes please. So it's super janky. And then like Ironcrag Feet can also be used. If you know that Godzilla or if you know that Yadaro and Drakoseth aren't going to be having an impact on the game, you can cast an Ironcrag Feet just to get like a Fiery Emancipation out there. And it's kind of crazy some of the shit you can do with this deck. I mean, Double Vision and Ironcrag Feet, that's 14 mana, but you don't really have anything that you can cast for 14 mana. I'm trying to like think, but I can't really think of anything that would be, like I can't think of anything that would be 14 mana. Maybe like Volcanic, whatever you call it. I can't spell volcano. Volcanic. Salvo. 12 mana, so maybe this is something you just throw in there as a fun of in the odd situation where you have Double Vision and Ironcrag Feet, so you get 14 mana to cast one extra spell, and then you can cast a Volcanic Salvo, but dealing 6 damage to up to 2 targets or Planeswalkers really isn't that impactful, especially if you have a Storm's Wrath and a Double Vision, you're doing 8 damage across the entire board. And then we have some small other things here just to kind of establish an overall battlefield. We have Electrostatic Field, which will help against the aggro matchup. It'll just slow them down as a 0/4. It's kind of tough to get through for mono red. And then also, as you're casting these Cathartic Reunion, Crash Through, Thrill of Possibility, as you're casting your spells that you need to find the actual win cons, you'll be doing small pings of damage with Electrostatic Field. If you have an Electrostatic Field out there with a Fiery Emancipation, this can kind of add up. It'll be doing 3 damage to each opponent every time you cast one of these. And then I've had situations where I have 2 Electrostatic Fields on the board, a Double Vision, a Fiery Emancipation, and then you cast Inescapable Blaze and you just do a ridiculous amount of damage. With a Fiery Emancipation and a Double Vision, Inescapable Blaze does triple, so 18 damage. And then it's cast twice, so that's 18 times 2. And then you're getting ping damage in with the Electrostatic Field. Depending on how many you have on the board, that's 3 damage there. So 18 times 2 plus 3 or 6. I mean, you can do a ridiculous amount of damage. 18 times 2. I'm still trying to do that math right now. Come on, Henry, you're pathetic. 636. So it's 36 damage, and then with 6 more, so you're doing 42. Somebody check that math. I'm so bad at like basic math. I'm bad at math in general, not just basic. Any kind of math. Give it to me. I'm terrible. Yeah. So that's basically it. We only have 22 mountains because you don't want to be drawing into lands. I mean, you're going to be casting these small discard spells and stuff, and most of the time you're going to be throwing away your lands to find your real win cons, because really all you need on the board is probably like 5 to 6 mana total, and as long as you just pace these things well and you get your Storm's Wraths on time, and as long as you can defend yourself and get your big threats out there and then cast your Inescapable Blaze, I mean, that's it. That's it, baby. Yadara also has an interesting use where you can cycle him for 2 mana. If you're in a dire situation and maybe you don't have an Ironcrag Feat, so you won't be able to cast him for a long time. Worst comes to worst, you cycle him. Drakoseth we only have the one of, because if you have him in your hand and you don't have an Ironcrag Feat, it's kind of a feels bad. Otherwise, it just takes too long to get him out there, and odds are you probably aren't going to get to 7 mana on your own by the time you can cast him anyway. So really, these 2 guys are only in here because if you get the Ironcrag Feat, you cast him, bing, bang, boom. But again, you can use Ironcrag Feat to get things like a Double Vision out early, or maybe a Fire Emancipation out early. You'll see. Yeah. I mean, depending on the game, you'll see if that's something you want to do or not. But anyway, yeah, that's the deck. It's 87% win rate right now in the play queue. It really catches people off guard. They never see it coming. I had one person, admittedly, it's probably actually 6-1, because I had one person scoop as soon as I played a red land. I'm assuming he thought I was going to be playing a Fervent Champion or a Tin Street Dodger immediately after, or maybe a Scorch Spitter immediately afterwards. But this isn't your brainless Embercleave Mono Red. This is something that is I'm having a shit ton of fun playing. It's a lot like having Bolas's Citadel out. It's very very like RNG dependent. You know, if you have the thrill of if you're just like playing your discard and draw spells like over and over and over, you're basically just cycling through your deck just trying to find these things. Your hand is always going to be small. You know, you're probably playing a lot of stuff out, but another thing that's actually really fun is when you play like a Thrill of Possibility, when you play a Crash Through, when you play a Cathartic Reunion, and you have double vision on the field, you only have to discard one, two, or no cards, and you get the double effect anyway. So like if you discard two cards with Cathartic Reunion and draw three, you draw six because of double vision, and you only discarded two. So losing two to gain, well, you get six, but really you only had two more than you had before, so you gain four. Lose two, gain four that's still incredible. I mean, this card on its own is a gain of one overall. You gain one card than you had, one card more than you had before. So by casting this, you actually get four. By casting this, you only discard one card. You get three. I mean, it's draw two, but you had to discard a card to do. You get it. Basically, you get immense card advantage if you can cast these with a double vision on the board. This card is not great. It's slow. It's a 5-mana do nothing, but like if you can survive long enough with Storm's Wrath and with Shocks, you just clear up the board. One thing I'm thinking about is maybe just getting rid of Electrostatic Field and throwing in Lava Coils. You kind of play a control game early rather than, kind of like a burn game. It might improve overall matchups against anything else, because this really has an advantage over aggro, and then a lot of other stuff it kind of doesn't have an advantage over, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, it's super fun. I'm really proud of it. This is 100% me. I have never seen anybody play anything like this. Maybe you have, but I haven't. This is the first deck that I've seen that is anything like this, and I'm having so much fun playing it. I really enjoy it. Might even bring it to ladder and see if I can surprise a few people there. But anyway, so yeah, that's the deck. And yeah, let's get in some matches. Our first opponent for the day is Satsujinkuyo. Satsujinkyu. Okay. So we have a lot of card draw here. I've kept a hand like this before just to see if I could, and it worked. So we'll keep it. The one thing I like is we have the early option of Crash Through and Shock. I think we'll just... usually what I do is I just play the mountain and I hang on to it and just wait, and because you don't need Crash Through right now. And Shock gives us the availability, if they have a 2 toughness creature, that's their entire game plan, we have the option to just get rid of it, rather than having 1 mana spent on a Crash Through to gain a card right now. Okay, so they're starting kind of slow. I wish Crash Through was an instant. That would be amazing. So now I think we'll play the Crash Through and we hang on to the 1 mana for the Shock. We're flooding out a little bit here with 22 lands. I was hoping we'd draw into some other stuff, but... Paradise Druid. Okay, so maybe we don't have to worry about a Shock. Yeah, we can definitely discard a Shock here. Or actually, maybe, since we're flooding out, let's do 2. Let's get rid of a Shock and a Mountain. Let's get a nice reload here. There's some Storm's Wraths. Those will be good. If they turn that Paradise Druid sideways, is it worth getting rid of? It's ramp and it's 2 damage, so maybe. If this is Mutate... Okay. So this is Mutate. So it might be worth burning one of our Storm's Wraths on this guy before it gets out of control. So one thing we have to worry about is Gem Razor getting rid of our big enchantments. I think we'll just say goodbye to the Migratory Greathorn, make them start from scratch. Another good thing is it gets rid of that Hexproof, so we can potentially target them with an Inescapable Blaze. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. What can we get rid of? Discard a card. Shock's not going to do much, I suppose. We'll get this down. And then we can Ironcrag Feet, and we can Inescapable Blaze the Auspicious Sterix. Potentially could be worth it. Okay. We could also Ironcrag Feet, Fiery Emancipation, and then just kind of... yeah, let's block. We're going to lose it anyway. And then we can take 6 next turn with an Fiery Emancipation on the field and then play Storm's Wrath. Or do we Inescapable Blaze now on the Sterix? And then... nah, let's just Fiery Emancipation. Fuck it. Let's go big and then go home. We can Storm's Wrath next turn. Hopefully they flood out with a land. Please be a land. For the love of God, please be a land. Okay, they attack all in. That's fine with me. Please also don't be a counterspell. So we're fine with discarding an Ironcrag Feet. I think we're at enough mana where that's probably not going to be an issue now. Now we're definitely okay with discarding an Ironcrag Feet. And now we play Drakuseth. Let's see if they have an answer to that. Ugin, the Spirit Dragon? No, didn't think so. So yeah, there we go. Picking up a game 1. And that's the deck. I mean, that's a great example of this deck. I mean, I had 2 cards left. I drew into exactly what I needed, but that's the thing. You just got to dig with those discard and draw effects and get what you need, and then, I don't know, just kind of bide your time and overpower them. Our next opponent is Wonder Walrus. I like that name. That's kind of funny. Alright, so this is a little bit greedy. 2 double visions, Fiery Emancipation, and all we have early is Crash Through and Thrill of Possibility. I don't hate it because we can discard one of the double visions to Thrill, and we kind of get deeper. So we'll keep it. This is a little bit greedy, though. Okay, and we're playing Lifelink, which is going to be a little bit of an issue for us. Is it better to hang on to this? No, let's just get deeper now. Let's try to get through our deck. We can play 2, play Thrilled, get rid of one of the double visions, and hopefully we draw into something. We could also just get rid of a mountain, but we need mountains. We only have 3. We only have 3 that we can see right now. We could also Electrostatic Field. Okay, so they're going to be playing wide too, so this is going to be a very tough match for us. I haven't played this much. I haven't played like Lifelink this hard yet, and I feel like that's going to be a tough matchup for this deck. The good thing is we did draw some Storm's Wraths, so there is that. We don't really have a 3-mana play next turn. Kind of feels bad. Okay, he's really going for it. So there's 3, so he gets a Griffin. I'm fine with that. Alright, so we'll go here. Cathartic Reunion, discard 2. Huh. Do I want to do that yet, or maybe do I just throw the Electrostatic Field down? If I throw it down, I'd kill it anyway with a Storm's Wrath. Do I really need 2 Storm's Wraths? I don't think I need 2 Storm's Wraths. We'll get rid of him. I think we can do better. So next turn we Storm's Wrath. That's our plan. We can double vision soon-ish. His vigilance? Oof. He's gonna lose it, so. Okay, so he creates the 4/4 Angel, but that won't last long. Boom, boom. I don't know what the rest of his turn is looking like. Come on, man, don't slow roll me here. So next turn we can play a mountain, double vision, or we can dig deeper in our deck. We'll see. Vampire of the Dire Moon, that's something we can deal with. Okay, so he gets a 2/2. Okay, so this is going to be a battle. Guess we play it a little slow here, which sucks. 6 mana, we could do the Fire Emancipation, but we really got to start digging for answers. Ooh, that sucks. What a top deck. What a top deck. So I guess we need another Storm's Wrath, but how do we even deal with that Gideon? I don't even know if we can. Yeah, we just got to draw into another Storm's Wrath. What a fucking top deck. Discard 2, draw 3. And then we get a copy of that. So let's see, can we clean up this board? Son of a bitch. Alright. I don't know if we can survive another turn. So we can block the Gideon. Oh, man. What top decks are these, dude? Oh my god. Unbelievable. Unfrickin' believable. We block the Gideon. We save ourselves 4. That's... So we're taking 4 damage, and then he can plus something, so that I think we take 5. Right? He can give something a +1/+1, and it's a vampire. I wouldn't... Why would you... Dude, do it to the thing I can't block, you idiot. Well, I guess he knows that we're not block... Yeah, he's actually... Doesn't really matter what he puts it on, because we're blocking the Gideon either way. So we need 4 mana, so we need to... discard 2, we can discard... You should have done that pre-combat, dude. Guess we get rid of the land here. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Didn't get what we needed. Flooded out so hard. And there's Godzilla. Alright, well, what are you gonna do? He got top decks. He got the best top decks he could have fucking asked for, and we dug through how much of our deck and couldn't find another Storm's Wrath or just anything to slow him down. So, next opponent is Trolley. Truly. We'll keep it. Hopefully it's an aggressive matchup. It is an aggressive matchup. Discard a card. I don't think we need the extra land. Another Storm's Wrath, Jesus. I mean, we'll keep all the Storm's Wraths we can fit in our hand, huh? Take 2. Okie dokie, smoky pokey. What? My God. This is ridiculous. I really hope he just empties his hand here. A Torbrand would be hilarious. Another Legion Morboss. Okie dokie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, Storm's Wrath. Goodbye board. See what else he's got. Tulzidi. So we can kill her with a shock if he doesn't have anything else. If he plays anything else, we'll just double Storm's Wrath. Oh, really? Okay. You asked for it. The double Storm's Wrath. Yeah, and then I think we're done. Because we can, if he plays 2 things, shock, shock. Ooh. Double vision? Yes, please. This might have been really greedy. But it paid off. We have the shock if he plays anything. Yeah, let's just do this now. Yep, so then we'll get that one. Board cleared. So we can do this. Yep. Yep. Thank you. And then we can do this. And then we can do this. And then just so we can get some damage in, let's do this. What you looking at, bud? Do we get aggressive? Yeah, let's get aggressive. Could have been defensive and left the 8-8 on the defense, but like, I have the 0-4 wall. We can play an Iron Craig Feet, play Dracuseth. Or I think we could just straight up play Dracuseth. How does it feel, mono red, to be beaten by the better mono red? Probably not sick. Oh, if I can draw like oh, I would have loved to have been able to inescapable blaze him. Game. Crushed him. Oh, that felt amazing. Next opponent is Rayor. Rayor? Iron Craig Feet with nothing to cast into it. The electrostatic field is nice. That'll slow down any aggro you face. It's an easy goodbye. Discard 2. What would we get rid of? I don't think we get rid of anything. Yeah. I don't want to get rid of that land because we need land. I think electrostatic field hopefully will get in the way of whatever knight he plays next. And there's our big threat that we can cast with Iron Craig Feet. So we could just risk it for the biscuit, just... If we draw a land, we're good. We didn't draw the land. What do we get rid of? We can get rid of Inescapable Blaze and Double Vision. I guess we're leaning into full fucking... Just get Dracuseth out and win that way mode. Just gets +1/+1. Because he can pump it. Is he playing White Knights? That's hilarious. So we can Storm's Wrath or we can Dracuseth. I say we just Storm's Wrath. Next turn we Dracuseth. Bing bang boom. Does he have something to like kill my Dracuseth? We'll just inescape the blaze. We attack. Do 4. Submit. Down to 1. And we have a shock on deck. So even if he takes care of our Dracuseth, we have won this game. Just need to untap. And he needs to not gain any life. Just for the lulz. Lost anyway. Good game. Haha. Alright, our next opponent for the day is Thanatosiris. What a mouthful. Alright, we'll keep it. We got the Iron Crag and the Dracuseth. It's kind of risky, because, like, if that's your whole game plan and they remove Dracuseth, that's pretty tough. Yeah, let's not thrill yet. We might draw into something that we would be more comfortable getting rid of. Okay, we could be playing the Is It Prowess deck that's been going around, which I would be happy actually to play that, because I think we have a strong matchup there. Get rid of the land. We draw into another land. Fine with that. That lets us Dracuseth next turn. Alright, and that's something we can, well, that's something we can kill with Dracuseth. If we can. They might have something to remove him, but hopefully they don't. These spells are the things they usually have are all like burn and stuff like that. We have 2 shocks on deck, Storm's Wrath, so like all this is potentially good, except for the Iron Crag feat. We already got what we needed out of the Iron Crag feat, but potentially if we draw like a Fiery Emancipation, Iron Crag feat, Fiery Emancipation. Basically, if they have a way to get rid of our Dracuseth, we have Storm's Wrath on deck to kind of back ourselves up here. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully we draw into some sort of gas. If we can get like a double vision or Fiery Emancipation, ooh! Preem. Primo preem. Okay. Cast a crash through. We could double face with a shock. Nah, let's drop off a shock. Come on, man. Let me do the stuff. Actually, we'll hang on to our shock. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with him. So he's trying to get as much stuff in the graveyard as he can to kill my Dracuseth. Which is why I'm hoping we draw into some gas so we have other ways to end this game. Worst comes to worst, I mean. Okay. We can Iron Greg feet back to it. Or do we bide our time with a Storm's Wrath? Nah, let's just Iron Greg feet back to him. Make him have to deal with it again, make him have it. Whatever it is he needs to deal with Drakuseth, make him have it. We can shock it now. Does he have it though? Okay, he did. Okay. This will be interesting. Really wish I drew into some gas. But he had to spend a lot of resources to get rid of my Drac. Cackling Drake. This is where I wish I had lava coils instead of electrostatic field. Double vision is kind of cool. And it takes care of Cackling Drake next turn. That's kind of gas. So I guess as he commits Cackling Drake to an attack, we can shock it, double shock with double vision. I guess I'm okay with that. Hey, we got it. We're 1 mana away from that, so yeah, let's bide our time, I guess. 1 mana away from Godzilla. Ugh. We could have Cathartic Reunioned and just drew a shit ton of cards, I guess. Yeah, we'll do it. Ooh. So we're setting up for something big here. This might be greedy. Thrill, discard that, or we can Iron Craig Feet, Inescapable Blaze. I think that's better. Just get him under pressure, and I think this actually could win us the game. Yeah, this does win us the game. 1 damage, 6 damage game, and it can't be countered. That's game. Got that by the skin of our teeth. Damn, that was fun. So yeah, that's the deck in a nutshell. It's super fun. It ended up being, of course, I start recording and the losses start flooding in. So at the end of the day, so we started what I said it was. We were 9-1 or 8-1. And we ended 11-6, so we started getting the losses that we probably should have been getting from the beginning. But you still catch people off guard with this, and it's still really powerful. I think it needs a little bit more consistency. Like, these discard and draw effects are great, but we need a way to keep cards in our hand, and I just don't know of a way to do that. So if anybody has any ideas for like mono red, just ways to just straight up like draw cards or something, because you also have to commit so much mana to double vision, to fire emancipation, into this stuff, and the only way to kind of cheat them out is Ironcrag Feat, and that can be difficult, but it's really fun when it works, and when the combos all go off and stuff, it's awesome. And then sometimes, as you saw, sometimes it just gets run. This has a great aggro matchup, but in the case like when we were fighting that 5/5 Gem Razor, it's you need stuff that's four toughness and lower, which generally that's the way it goes. But sometimes you get unlucky. But there are, if you have a double vision and a Storm's Wrath, you can just double wrath the board, and it can work out. But sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes you get run over by aggro. Even control decks, well, obviously aggro is favored against control, and this is kind of like pseudo control, and it almost reminds me of like when you cast Inescapable Blaze with Fire Emancipation and double vision. It reminds me a lot of like Expansion Explosion and stuff, just doing a lot of damage. But regardless, it's it's super fun. I really like the deck. I think it's pretty. I mean, Electrostatic Field, I was thinking about cutting anyway for maybe like a Lava Coil or something. I'm just trying to think of like, this looks pretty M20. This looks like M2021, or I'm not M2021. This looks like standard 2021 proof. Like, you could play this in standard 2021 and it would be pretty good. You would have to cut Electrostatic Field. You could put something else in, like Lava Coil or something like that. Or is Lava Coil rotating? I think Lava Coil's rotating. Yeah, Lava Coil rotates. So, what would we want instead of Electrostatic Field to make this standard 2021 proof? I'm sure I could think of something. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, potentially. Maybe. You could put in Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, would be a decent card. Fire Prophecy potentially could be a good card. Heartfire would be no good. Yeah, there's bound to be something. Scorching Dragonfire, I think we already mentioned Scorching Dragon. Or no, we said, actually, yeah, Fire Prophecy. Because then if you do, you draw a card. Yeah, so you can kind of get pseudo-cycling at a Fire Prophecy. Scorching Dragonfire is good because of the exiling effect. Just trying to think of like other stuff you could put in here to actually make this rotation proof. Bone Crusher Giant, maybe. Bone Crusher Giant gives us a turn 2. How does double vision work? Instant or sorcery? Yeah, Bone Crusher Giant might actually be a great inclusion. Just cut Electrostatic Field, get Bone Crusher Giant. Worst comes to worst, you have a 4/3 body, or you have an instant adventure, and it can get doubled by double vision. Flame Spill's not bad. What's that 3 mana 5 damage one? What is it called? Like Soul Seer. Potentially Soul Seer, maybe. Deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That permanent loses indestructible until end of turn. This could be a decent card to include. Or you could lean like full burn and go for like Slaying Fire or Skewer. Skewer probably better because you can play it on the cheap if you get some damage done, but I don't know. But yeah, it's almost rotation proof. Just Electrostatic Field would need to be cut, and you could find something else to replace it with. So yeah, I mean that's the deck. You saw some pretty good games there. I think you saw one with the Fiery Emancipation and Inescapable Blaze. I think you saw it win that way. I mean Inescapable Blaze just winning in general, and stuff like that. So yeah, favored against aggro, not favored against control. And it can be. I mean, it's just it. You either have it or you don't. You're either drawing through your deck, you get the cards that you need to make some sort of stand with Ironcrag Feet and Drakuseth or Yadaro, or you're playing out a double vision, Fire Emancipation, Inescapable plays, and you're just kind of biding time with like Storm's Wrath and stuff. And um, yeah, it's just super fun when it works, and sometimes it doesn't, and that stuff feels bad, but it's still fun to just kind of like roll the dice and just see if you get what you need. And that's kind of what the deck is. It's just, it plays on variance, it plays on odds, and will you draw the things that you need? And odds are you will draw something that you need. I mean, you have so much. Like this top end is all the stuff that wins you games, and we have so much of it. So not a lot of land, but again, you're discarding and you're drawing enough where that's not going to be a problem. As you saw, I mean, I won. I still think that's an impressive record for a deck like this. 11 and 6, 64% win rate. That's not bad. So yeah, and I don't know how many rares or whatever we have. I mean, this seems like a pretty, I mean, somewhat budget friendly deck. I think Storm's Wrath is a rare, Double Vision's probably a rare, Fire Emancipation's definitely rare. So maybe not. Maybe it's not budget friendly, but it is very fun. So if you have these cards already, um, I would recommend just crafting. You can craft the lower end. I mean, all these can fit into other types of decks. So craft the lower end. If you have the upper end, just throw the deck together, and you can play it and you have a little bit of fun. Definitely not something I would play on ladder. I think this gets run over on ladder, but you might be catch people unaware. But in the play queue, this is super fun. So highly recommend. Um, yeah, that's it. Catch you later.